I'm Tim, and welcome to watchyouwant.com. Thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the IWC Portuguese Perpetual Calendar reference 5023-06. Now this watch is almost like an anthology of IWC's greatest hits because it has so much original and innovative and groundbreaking IWC watchmaking content in it that you could say it reads like a digest of IWC's most significant mechanical advancements made by giants of the company's heritage. Now, if you're a fan of the brand from Schaffhausen, let's start with their most important reference of all time, the Portuguese. Created in the late 1930s specifically to house a pocket watch movement, it was a 42mm monster. And although it became an icon for the company, fewer than 600 were actually built from the 1930s through the 1980s, so it remained a rarity. Only really resurrected in the 1990s, it's become the standard bearer for IWC today. And I guess IWC got the last laugh because today everyone's on the big watch bandwagon. IWC, they were first and foremost. Now this is a 44mm case, 18 karat rose gold. All of the expected Portuguese features are there. Tapered lugs, big round case, Arabic numerals, full 1 through 12. You could see leaf hands. You could see subdials, very beautiful, again, instantly recognizable even to those Portuguese importers who originally requested the design back in the 30s. This would look like a Portuguese. It's timeless, it's enduring, and it's still incredibly appealing. But the watchmaking content inside is the real hook here. So what you have is an IWC Perpetual Calendar module on a 50,000 series movement. This is actually the 51613. And this movement, designed entirely in-house by IWC, is actually a collection of innovations that span over 60 years of IWC watchmaking prowess. So let's start with the winding system. You can see the winding rotor right there with the inset gold weight. This was developed by the legendary IWC watchmaker Albert Pellaton in the 1940s. It's a pawl-based, so bidirectional winding rotor system, very efficient, and especially in this large case with a large moment of inertia, it will wind the watch incredibly quick. It'll go from roughly unwound to fully wound. That's a full 7 days worth of wind, folks, in this watch in about a day and a half. Incredibly effective, copied by virtually everyone. It's one of the true innovations in watch winding of the 20th century. And there's a reason that between Rolex, JLC, and IWC, those three systems have pretty much cornered the market on auto-winding innovations over the last 70, 80 years. Now, the innovation goes deeper, because this base movement, which was called the 5000 series when it came out in 2000, was designed with the aid of legendary and still living IWC master watchmaker Klaus. Now, Klaus is now in his 80s, and he technically retired in his 60s, but darned if he isn't still flying around the world as an ambassador for IWC and assisting on special projects. The great thing about this movement is it continued everything that made IWC movements great in its heyday. It's as big as a pocket watch caliber, which is key because IWC started as a pocket watch manufacturer and to this day still manufactures pocket watch style movements. Now, it fills this 44mm case beautifully, and that's another benefit. I hate when I turn a big watch over and I see this little Minnie Mouse inside a Mighty Mouse case, and seeing a 30mm movement and nothing but a huge extended base plate or a bunch of fluff around the periphery is just disappointing. It tells you that the company hasn't invested in original watchmaking in over 2 decades. As the big watch craze has developed, some companies have stuck with their old movements and failed to invest. Not here. IWC is building movements that are up to the minute in terms of technology and style. But let's get back to that technology for a second, because what Klaus wrought here is truly phenomenal. Breguet over coil hairspring. That's optimal for isochronism relating to positional variance, temperature variance, and in the event that the watch does take a shock on the wrist, it's very resistant to changing its timing. So what you're getting here is accuracy. You're getting a big, high moment of inertia balance wheel over 10, I believe it's milligrams per centimeter squared, which is basically a way of saying it takes a lot to disrupt this thing. This watch is going to keep excellent time. More than that, it's a 7-day power reserve, which is exactly what you want on a perpetual calendar because you don't want to have to reset it, period. A set-it-and-forget-it watch is ideal. It's modern. It's what you look for in an automatic winding watch. One you can put on every day that can be your daily companion without worry about accuracy, resetting, or whether the watch is going to stop in between wearing. And if you have a rotation of watches, if you are, for instance, a collector, it's great because you can rotate through your watches for a few days, come back to this one, the timing and the calendar are still spot on. And that calendar is Kurt Klaus's enduring legacy with IWC. In addition to the movement, which is exceptional, one of the best in the industry, he created what is arguably the best perpetual calendar system during the 1980s. Continuously produced and updated by IWC, the Kurt Klaus perpetual calendar system, displayed on these 4 subdials, has been used by Jaeger-LeCoultre, it's been used by Omega, it's been feted as one of the true innovations in high horology complications of the last 30 years. And here's why. All of the indications, from the day of the week to the date, to the month, to the moon phase, to the year, are fully coordinated. So you just set today's day and date, and everything else moves to conform. Very easy. It sets from the second crown position just as you'd set a date on a Rolex or Omega. Foolproof, easy to use, bulletproof. It's one of the best systems ever devised for a complex calendar watch, especially a perpetual. There's no fiddling with pushers, there's no case side dimples to mar the lines of this alternately brushed and polished 18-karat rose gold case. Beautiful to examine on both sides, technologically fascinating and historically significant. This Portuguese Perpetual in 18-karat rose gold is available from watchyouwant.com with full box papers and factory accessories. Everything you would receive at an IWC boutique you get from us, except for the MSRP markup. So check out our website, watchyouwant.com. Browse this IWC Portuguese Perpetual and our entire selection of luxury pre-owned watches. I'm confident that you will find the watch you want.